I'm going to give a quick introduction for Pete Vargas. You guys have no idea the impact he's had on my life. If you've ever thought, how do I get on a stage? Why do I get on a stage? How do I scale a stage? How do I monetize a stage? He is your guy. And Pete, I'm super excited to hear your thoughts on how does someone, a lot of the people on this call are, lawyers, ambitious business owners, looking to go from maybe it's a couple $100,000 a year to multi-million. Maybe it's to 100 million a year. And they know stages are important. They know getting their message out one to many is extremely important. But how do you start on this process? How do you craft your message? How do you craft your message? How do you find stages? And how do you scale stages?
Man, dude, thank you for that intro. So, hey, everybody, how you doing? I hope you're well. Pete Vargas. I'm going to dive right into it because I know I have a limited time and I want to give you guys incredible value in that time that I have today. And so I've got a couple of slides that I'm going to be sharing in a minute. But Bill, thank you for having me. And I'm stoked to be here with you today. And I don't know where your business was 4 months ago. I know where mine was. We've been helping people get their message or their services out in front of more of their ideal clients for almost 2 decades now. And all I know is that when an article starts this way, when Forbes starts an article this way, this founder's business was demolished. I don't love that they use demolished by COVID-19. And here's how he pivoted himself into growth mode. They actually said my business was about to go out of business, which was not true. And I had them correct that. But what happened in the month of April and May, we lost close to $5 million in top line revenues. And what Forbes found out, and many other news articles, is like, whoa, you lost $45 million in revenues. And then from April 5th to May 5th, you were able to turn that around and do more revenues than you did all of 2019, which was multiple times over the amount of revenues that we lost. How did we do that? That's what that whole article talks about, but it doesn't really give you the insight. And Bill asked me to give you the insight today. So I'm going to talk about 2 out of the 4 things we did because I don't have time to talk about 4. I'm going to have to talk really, really fast to cover the 2. So please take notes. I'm stoked to be here. I want to give you 2 incredible things that I think can help all of you scale your businesses. And we've worked with so many people in this profession that we've taught them this, and it's phenomenal. And so I'm going to share my screen for a little bit. I'm going to come back in and out here. And so we've worked with some of the top people. This is actually the 10X conference slide that you saw at 10X. And these are just some of the people that we've had the opportunity to work with, helping them understand how to scale their message and get their message out to the world on a lot bigger scale. And I love what Grant said. Grant said, if you want to get your ideas to the market, you have to become a powerful communicator. Pete's the authority on stages, whether online or in person. This method could scale your business without stealing your life away. And then the green, this is what I want people to see in the green. After I heard Pete talk about this methodology, I let him know I've probably left hundreds of millions of dollars on the table from not doing this well. And so what I want to talk about today are 2 things that we did really, really well to pivot and to go create in 1 month what we did in an entire year. And by the way, in that entire year, we were already an 8-figure business. And we did that April 5th to May 5th of this year. So I'm going to teach you 2 things. And so let's talk about the first thing for a quick second here. So the first thing is I'm not going to talk about physical stages. I'm not going to talk about physical stages. And I'm actually going to stop the share just for a quick second here. Like, physical stages are on hold, and everybody knows that. And what we saw was our physical stage, our Big Alive event, get lost, which was about $3 million. And then we lost about $2 million on other people's stages, what we call OPSs. OPSs. I don't want you to forget that term. You guys understand OPM well. You understand OPM well, other people's money. But what you don't understand today is other people's stages. It might as well be other people's money. And so we lost $5 million between OPSs and our own stages. Own stages, OPS stages. Now, we had to pivot. And I told my team, I said, I want you guys to begin to let me own winning 31 digital stages in 31 days. I felt like we could make up this money over here that we had lost on physical stages on digital stages. I believed that in my head. And I set a prerequisite. I said, team, this was like late March. Team, You guys can't win any of them for me. I'm going to go treat it as a solopreneur, and I'm going to document this process. And I'm actually going to call a lot of people who don't even know me. Like I want to prove to the world that a single person can do it all by themselves. My team did nothing in that. They couldn't. It was kind of like undercover Pete. And what I saw was us winning 31 digital stages in 14 days. And what we're seeing our students do is win 31 digital stages in a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. It doesn't matter. But here's the power. Before I explain these digital stages, here's the power of these digital stages. And it was done, Grant Cardone, this year, and he'll be here with us in a second. And I was just with Grant last week. Him and I were hanging out last week in Colorado. And Grant said something from the stage. He goes, do you guys know how much this stage cost me? You know, I love, Grant's so funny, but he's so smart. He goes, it cost me, I think he said, Bill, $8 million.
Wow.
And this light bulb went off in my head. I got on stage and I started talking about OPSs. And I said, do you know how much this stage cost me? 0. I said, that's the power of OPSs. They've spent the money. They built the community, and now you get the opportunity to go present something that gives value to their community, and as a result, land clients in 1 hour or 30 minutes or 15 minutes. That's what you get to do. And so that's the power of OPSs. And Bill is absolutely right. You have the opportunity to have your own. This is an example of Bill having his own. He spent a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy, which is, I believe, in your own, but I just want to talk about OPSs, other people's stages today. There's 2 types of digital stages, your own and OPSs. And so guys, I want to make a case today that you should be on some of these stages. There are lots of people doing social media lives that when I go live, every Monday, I have 1,000 people, entrepreneurs that are watching me go live. Every industry, every niche, your ideal customer, they're listening to these digital stages. They're on these digital stages. And if you can be the one to step in and serve that community with value, you will begin to see the sales cycle shorten significantly, and you get to leverage an OPS, which is just as good as OPM. Yeah. Because they've spent their OPM on that stage for you.
I want to make a quick point for everyone. So to implement what Pete's saying, what I want everyone to be thinking and writing as Pete's talking is think about a lot of you have local market law firms. Think like, who are 5 or 10 people that have their own platform in your market? It's free advertising. So keep going, Pete. It's great.
Yeah, dude. All of these have local levels. All of these have local, state, national, international, like they're everywhere. And now you become the authority. You're not the one at the networking party networking. You're the one on the stage sharing a message. So there's social media lives. Lots of people do social media lives every single day on their platforms to their communities. There's these things that you're seeing pop up online called challenges. We just did a major challenge, and it's basically a short stint where you're teaching people stuff. I just had a guy that did a challenge, and he had speakers on there, and it was like how to find and buy 5 businesses in 5 days. That was a challenge he did. Well, you should have been one of the speakers on there, because his ideal client on the other side is your ideal client. There's webinars like this, or like I just did with Grant Cardone 3 months ago that created 6 figures. There's association trainings in your local market that can no longer meet in person. And when they do, you'll be set up to be the one to meet in person, because you're the one that's going to go be on their digital stage, because they're trying to do more digitally than they've ever done before. There's podcasts. There's online summits. There's all of these folks that have big followings on YouTube. I'm not one of them, but if you get posted, I know one guy who got posted on Grant Cardone's YouTube channel, and he told me it generated multiple 6 figures from him just being on Grant Cardone's YouTube channel with evergreen content. There's online media. And the last 3 I want to tell you are the most important to me, because there are lots of people who have courses and membership sites, and they look for outside experts to create content that can now go in their course and or their membership site. Like every niche in every industry, the people you serve, there's people in there that have courses and membership sites, and they might just not have your expertise. And so now you bring the expertise, you become the go-to person for them. And now they build you into the back end of their course. Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi built me into the back of their course. It's an hour piece of content. And now all 37,000 of their customers get to see me whenever they consume that. That's huge. Virtual masterminds. Every mastermind has been taken virtual. Virtual events. Every virtual event, every physical event has been taken virtual. 9, 10, and 11 are filled with this thing that I like to call customers. Those are like 1 through 8 might be some customers, but it might also be looky-loos. Like it's cool, that's all right. But 9 through 11 are customers. Guys, if you can begin to systematically get on these stages, you will see more clients come. And the one tip I want to give you, I've been doing this for 20 years. I won 31 of these. I won all 11 categories in those 14 days too. All 11 categories in 14 days, 31 of them sprinkled in between here. I won all of these. And in 31 days, after winning 14 of these, this replaced the $2 million that we lost, the $2 million from being on other people's stages by being on those. So I want to encourage you guys to go do that. The second thing that I want to encourage you to do, because I want to be able to get through this and give you two big pieces of content today, is listen. This is the framework that we've used, and you can see it in honor of Mr. Grant here today. We got 10X GrowthCon up there in the right-hand corner. Like guys, if you ain't at 10X GrowthCon next year, you just heard Bill say that's where he met me. Like, be there. But this is the framework that you want to use. And I know this is difficult for a lot of you because of the fact that you're so left-brained. And I don't say that with disrespect, but listen, you got to connect with people, man. You got to connect with people. And no, you don't have to get sobby. People just want to know you care. And so incorporate a little bit of heart. Incorporate a little bit of heart. They just want to know you care, man. That's it. And you might say, no, they don't. Yes, they do. I've been doing this for 20 years. And so when you communicate on a stage, any stage, digital, physical, one-on-one, the phone call, connect. Dude, you could have had a pen drop yesterday. As Grant shared a story of some of his father's final words to his mom, you could have had a pen drop with thousands of people that were watching, just like, whoa. But also tough love is connecting with people's heart, because tough love connects with their heart. And so it's not about crying, it's about connecting. That's all the opening heart does. It's not talking about yourself or other. It's about knowing that they can connect with you, because when they connect with you, man, the door is open. Then you guys can go and speak to the mind and teach them a little bit. And teach them a little bit. Don't overteach them. Don't overteach them. And then, hey guys, the hands become really important, man. The call to action is really, really important. It's really, really important. It's incredibly important. Like CTA matters. A call to action matters. Getting a call scheduled matters. Let me tell you about our scheduled calls. When we're on somebody else's stage, we're seeing over 50% of them that will go further with us when they schedule a call after we've been on somebody else's stage. And so call to action matters. It really, really matters. And then I love it, man, when you drive it home with the heart. When you drive it home with the heart, like you close with the heart. The close out of the interview that I did with Grant yesterday, dude, he took a sales call live, like while the video was rolling, and it was insanity. People's like jaw dropped in our group from this. Once again, reconnecting with the heart. Everything he just taught us, he just went out and did right there in front of us. Like, so there's this misconception that it has to be like, no, some people do the heart different. Me and Grant do the heart different, but Grant does the heart, man. Grant got your heart. Like he got you like right away. And here's the thing, you cannot be so left-brained. Overteach and watch what happens. You won't get customers. if all you do is try to pound teach. Now, guess what? I get a lot of teaching in 60 minutes or 70 minutes. I got a lot in here in 15, 20 minutes today. But these were two of the four things that we did to generate 8 figures from April 5th to May 5th in 1 month after losing $5 million. So I can't teach today, Bill, on the other 2 things, but man, I want to encourage you guys to like become a freaking powerhouse in communication. Become a powerhouse in communication. Like become great at communicating. And the other thing I want to teach them to do is like, man, OPSs, bro. OPSs, you know, I know Grant is great with OPM, but I'm great with OPSs. OPSs is OPM. When you're on somebody else's stage, they've spent the money. So that is OPM. That is OPM. And I ain't got to take any notes from the bank for it either. Like there's a podcast. I'm going to close with this story. There was a podcast that we had a client on, just one stupid podcast. One podcast. And this guy's invested millions and millions into marketing to get 100,000 subscribers on that podcast. I mean, he has 125,000 downloads a week, the size of the biggest football stadiums in the world. He had spent the millions of dollars. But the reason he hired this or had this person come share on his podcast because he wanted him to share content. And from that one podcast, that dude generated hundreds of thousands of dollars in the weeks to come from leveraging that stage and being powerful in his communication on that stage. And so, Bill, that's all I got today, man. I just wanted, I know you hit me up last week. It's so cool to hear that you're a student of ours, of our 10X Stages program, and grateful to be with you guys. Congratulations on what you're doing. And all of you out there, man, I hope that you will take action and go make this happen. Go make this happen.
Love it, Pete. Thank you so much for the time.